Hey guys, it's Jake. Today I want to talk a little bit about bags. More specifically, I want to talk about the bag that I used all of this season and my thoughts on it, which is the Dynamic Disc Trooper backpack. Um, so I guess to start with, when I started playing back in 2011, when I finally got a bag, it started with one of those little, I don't remember if it was Fade or Innova, but little like sort of satchel looking 5 or 6 discs kind of bag, which I pretty quickly grew out of when I developed my plastic addiction. um, at some point 5 discs is just not anywhere near enough. So that's when I stepped up to the Fade tourney bag. I don't even know if Fade makes bags anymore, but back then it was the best that there was. It was, before backpacks were a thing. There's definitely no carts that I'd seen. Um, and so the Fade tourney bag was, I think it was like 100 and some bucks at the time. Actually, you see it back there in the corner. Um, it's got a massive disc capacity, but it doesn't really have any room for other stuff. There's 2 water bottle holders and there's a couple of small pockets, but there wasn't like a place where you could stuff a rain jacket or things like that. Um, so it's worked great for years and years. It's super durable. As soon as you buy the extra shock straps, basically the backpack straps for it with the shock absorbers, it's super comfortable, and it's been great. But this year I decided I really wanted a backpack because ever since those came out, I've kind of been eyeing them, but they're always so expensive. Because when they first came out, I think it was just like Grip and I don't know, maybe Pound. There was just a couple manufacturers, but they're very, very expensive. And now, having gotten back into the sport this year, I see so many companies now have affordable bags to choose from. So earlier, probably around February or March, I decided I was going to buy a backpack. And since I don't carry that many discs, I was more concerned with having, capacity for maybe 20 discs, but I also wanted space to be able to put like a rain jacket and somewhere to, keep all the other accessories and stuff that I wanted to bring along more than just discs. And so looking around, the Trooper actually really fit the bill. So this is the Trooper. And this bag is fantastic for the price. It comes in at around 40 bucks. I think I got it like 35 bucks on sale when I don't know, maybe on eBay or something. I don't remember exactly, but for a backpack, that's like insanely cheap, and it had great reviews, and I think all the dynamic disc bags have pretty good reviews. But it seemed to be, good enough to fit what I was looking for, and well within the price range I was hoping to hit. So I decided to give it a whirl. So I've been using this bag all for 2020. Got a lot of rounds in, including a tournament round. And I've been really happy with it. This is a fantastic bag. I would highly recommend it if you're a beginner or even intermediate or someone who just plays sort of recreationally. I don't think there's a better bag design. There's a few companies that make similar styles to this now. Like this looks almost identical to like the Axiom shuttle or whatever it is, and they come in a whole range of colors. But it's sort of it's a great bag for if you're going out and the weather's gonna be decent. You don't really need to carry a ton of stuff, but you want some extra storage. It's just perfect. So we can kind of walk through some of the features. So one of the first things that I like about these is they have the D-rings. Some of the bags I've been looking at don't have as many attach points, or they're in weird places. And this is where I like to keep both my whale sack I usually attach up here, as well as bag tags. And it keeps it from getting in the way of everything. If you have them back like on the straps or on weird spots on the side, they can dangle on the ground, get caught and stuff, or be a pain when you're trying to get the bag on and off. So having the D-rings on top is a big deal for me. I like that. As well as having a decent strap to hold it by on the top, because I tend to, for those shots in the woods where you attempt to get out and make it 7 feet, Sometimes it's easier just to pick up your bag and move it to 7 feet this way than just to shoulder it. So those are kind of neat features that I prefer in a bag. I think a lot of them have that, but it's just something that I kind of watch out for. As far as accessory pockets, there's this big one on the side. This is where I keep like a hockey puck and a golf ball and extra towels, snacks, things like that. I don't think I had anything else in there this year, but it's pretty good size. I mean, see the size of my hand, I can fit a pretty decent amount of stuff in there. So that's sort of like the main pocket, and then there's these two little like sort of side sleeve pockets where you can slip your hand in sideways and it goes all the way sort of to the front of the bag. And they're sort of tight this way, not a lot of room side to side, but you can fit like your mini, your wallet, keys and stuff in these. That's usually what I use them for. So I had wallet and keys, and I'd swap my mini out for my wallet, whatever, I keep that in my pocket. And then on this side I usually have like, recently I just had like an LED flashlight, or other random like papers or a scorecard or something, pencil, Sharpie I think I keep in here if I have to mark up discs. So basically you've got those three sort of accessory pockets to work with, and then a single water bottle holder with the adjustable little strap. Works great. It's got the draining hole and everything, so hard to see. Yep. So it's not going to get all nasty down there. And then probably the most important thing that everybody's going to be wondering about are the disc pockets. The one thing I did, you can see it right here, the bag doesn't like have any rigidity here, which is both good and bad. Like aesthetically, it's ugly as sin, right? It looks like it's being warped, but it actually works out pretty well. It makes it easy to get the discs in and out, not having a rigid thing in the way. So that's pretty nice. But essentially what you get is this top pocket you can use for whatever. I use it for discs, and you can fit probably, I don't know, probably 6 discs if you really wanted to, could fit up here. But I think 4 is sort of the ideal if you want to be able to get them out easily. I can grab another putter here and slam it in there pretty easily. But at some point this opening starts to narrow, and you can only pull out the ones near the bottom, and you gotta start doing the shuffling thing. And on top of that, this top bag sort of pushes down into the base here. So if the more stuff you jam in here, the harder it can be to get these discs out. So I would stick to like maybe 4. That's sort of been my sweet spot. 4 putters anyway. You probably do more if they're not putters. So screw these out. Yeah, and you also need to like kind of pull them out 1 or 2 at a time from here, because like I mentioned, the opening is not perfectly wide the whole way. It kind of narrows up here, so you got to pull them out from sort of the bottom to get them to come out. I guess depending on how wide your discs are. So then in here you got plenty of space. You can put jackets and other accessories if you didn't want to carry discs up here, because there's still plenty of room down at the bottom. But and if you want, you can zip it up, protect it from the rain, things like that. Zippers are actually really nice, high quality. They got good pull tabs on them. Haven't had any issues, and in general the whole bag, none of the stitching has even remotely looked like it's going to come loose, or nothing's felt like it's going to tear. It's all very sturdy. So that's super nice. Now looking in the main pocket, in here you can see I've got a good number of discs. It's 17 discs in there currently. And you could technically probably fit 1 more driver. It just gets a little bit tighter to pull them in and out. I like it. 17 seems to be like the sweet spot between, I've got a mix of mids and drivers and stuff. Obviously it depends on what discs you have, but you can fit quite a few in here. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking to hold under 20 discs or around 20 discs, this is such a great bag. Highly recommended. Yeah, and then so the way this works is the flap just velcroed. Yeah. Velcroed underneath back here. You can see the Velcro tab. So normally I have it Velcro back, but if it's raining you can just let the flap hang, or you can zip it up. And there's a ton of room here. I actually store more than just my discs in here. Normally I stick my Golden Retriever underneath the discs on the bottom. And that works out really well too. Otherwise, there's not too much to say about it. It's pretty standard, backpack like you'd expect. It's very comfortable. Straps are comfortable, but the back has, what you'd expect for a cheaper bag. There's not like super ventilation or anything crazy like that, but I never felt like I got super sweaty or anything like that with it. Yeah, just overall really like it. It's just the only reason I say liked is because I do have a new bag on the way. I'm upgrading a little bit because I do want a little bit more capacity. I want a second water bottle holder for tournament rounds, as well as just having a little bit extra space to be able to fit like a jacket. 'Cause this one, I could probably fit a jacket in here. Like I have a rain jacket that goes down really small, but then I don't really have a great place for my towels. So I feel like if I could just a little bit extra storage, it will be great for doing tournaments and stuff where I can't count on the weather being nice. But for a fair weather bag, this is super nice. It's so light, it's compact, it's rugged, it's pretty much exactly what I would look for normally. And all year long, it served me perfectly, and I would totally keep using it if it weren't for the the fact that I intend to play more competitive events, and I kind of want to be able to have that extra storage. Yeah, but the only downsides that I've noticed, other than the slightly less storage than I would hope for, is that this bag does not tend to sit flat easily. The bottom has no sort of rigid structure to it really. There's no feet or anything. So when you set it down, it has a tendency to sort of topple over unless you set it right. Which, I mean, after like 2 rounds, you just get to know how to set it down. And if there's no good way to set it down on the bottom, you just sort of lay it on the back. So you just kind of get used to it. It's not a big deal. But it is something that, was kind of frustrating early on, because I was used to my fade bag. I just plop that thing down anywhere and it's not going anywhere because it's just massively bottom heavy and flat. But a backpack's obviously a lot taller and has weight towards the top. It likes to tip. So, and that's probably pretty comparable with most bags in this sort of price range, I would imagine. Probably doesn't have a super sturdy base, but yeah, like I said, not a big deal. Whatever, you're not gonna have any massive issue with that. Hopefully you're not setting your discs somewhere where they're going to tumble down a hill or something. But other than that, I don't think I've really had any complaints about this bag at all. Yeah, so I'd highly recommend checking it out. I will probably be doing another video in the near future when I do get my new bag. It should be arriving today or tomorrow. But yeah, I'll probably put some time in with it first, get used to it, get to know it before I give my thoughts on it, just so that it's a fair review and not just an unboxing video. Otherwise, if you guys have anything else to say about this bag, if you have this, or want to give any comments about it, go ahead and throw those down below. Otherwise, go ahead and subscribe, and I will try to put out some more videos in the near future. I'm hoping I'll go out over this Thanksgiving holiday and do some reviews in the field, maybe some disc reviews filmed. So yeah, otherwise we'll see you guys in the next one.